Okay, we're kicking off the call. Welcome everyone. Ooh, 28 faces. I don't think we've had this many people on for a while on a Wednesday. Welcome to the team call. It is January 6th, and today's been awesome. It's been so cool to just really soak it all in now that I'm home and reflect upon everything. And so when corporate called me today, they said, hey, can you hop on Zoom? And I didn't really know that they were going to do a Zoom chat with me, so I thought like something was wrong. And so when I hopped on, they congratulated us on Elite and everything. And then they told me that we came in number 85. And so I thought it was 91. And it's really hard, guys, to move from 91 to 85 in the last week of the year. So what everyone did, I hope that you guys know that it's not just what I do. It's what every single person on this team does collectively. So freaking awesome. I'm really pumped and proud. I could talk about it forever and ever. And so I know today I did some recognition on some people's pages, and I want to give you guys the opportunity. Does anyone have any individual shout outs that they would like to congratulate anyone for? You can unmute yourself if you have someone. If you're new to Zoom, also on your screen, if you're on an iPad or if you're on a phone, it's a little bit different, but typically you can tap on the screen and you can unmute yourself in the corner. Any shout outs?
I have one.
Oh, go for it.
Mine's not a rank advancement, but I just want to shout out to Kristen, who's been stepping out of her comfort zone, like, whoa, and talking to people and posting things. So, love her.
Congratulations. I love that. We have some seriously awesome, bold, and courageous new coaches on here. I know it's not easy as a new coach, so congrats. That's awesome. Anyone else?
And then I have Sarah Bushy. She actually signed up 2 coaches, her sister and her father, last week. And for some reason, I can't see it in the online office, but she would be Emerald. So.
Sweet. Well, tomorrow we'll check it out, and if all is good, she should be an Emerald coach tomorrow morning. Congratulations.
Yep.
I always love having her in our groups too. So.
Yeah.
Anyone else? You might have to click on audio, Giovanni, if I'm saying your name right, hopefully. I'm horrible at pronouncing names. Maybe someone can message her and try to help her. But if you want to shout anyone out, you can shout them out in the chat box too. But so yeah, congratulations to us as a whole today. On top of all the awesomeness I've already said, but we just reached a downline of 900 coaches. So we're, I know, going to go well into the thousands this year. And I also want to give formal congratulations to Candace, Thelma, and Janelle. They are Success Club All-Stars. And for those that don't know what that means, to be an all-star, you have to hit Success Club 5 or 10. So they have different categories, but these ladies were 5 for 12 months consecutively. So I'm sure they've done it longer than that, but they've done 12 consecutively. And then we have Angie, is it Doughton? I'm horrible at names. I'm really sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Angie is a business starter. So what that means, if you guys aren't familiar, Beachbody has a leadership ladder. And if you hit Success Club and you earn more than $100 in your first month in commissions, you are considered a business starter. So I got that email this morning. And then Candace was promoted to team leader. And so just so you guys know, I'm actually a team leader. So Candace right now, and Katie also got her team leader back. So the 3 of us, it doesn't really matter necessarily what your rank is. It matters the team that you're building. So Candace is rocking it. Katie is rocking it. Awesome job. And then Layla and Angie also are about to earn their Success Club starter ticket. So free ticket to a sold out event in Nashville and Summit. So I love recognition. I love it so much. Was there another one? Sorry.
I forgot to recognize Bree. She just got bumped up in the leadership ladder for team builder. Woo!
Yes. So it goes business starter, team builder, team leader, organizational leader, and executive leader. So making her way up the rank, up the rungs, not the rank, sorry. And Katie's shouting out her brand new coach who signed up yesterday and is already on the call. Love it, yay. And if we can duplicate this type of team culture where everyone's always coming on the calls, I promise it's a lot more fun. So Okay, I promised you guys we were going to talk about the Success Club trip for 2017. We are going to the Dominican Republic. We are going to Punta Cana. I'm so excited. My parents and I and my husband were able to go to Cancun last year. We're going to Jamaica this year. It's actually one of the reasons I personally signed up was because I was like, hold on, I get to blog about fitness and health. I get to get in shape. I get to be on social media all day, meet awesome people, and I get pretty much paid to travel. Sign me up. And so the trips were a huge, huge motivator for me, and I hope they are for you. And with that being said, I want you guys to know, and I totally understand, like, life happens, and sometimes you can't. But I know last year, a lot of people were afraid to make that investment with a deposit because they didn't really understand how it worked. They didn't understand how the deposit would work and what they'd be owing and things like that. Think of going on this trip not as just Beachbody rewarding you, but also an investment in your business. I actually plan out my recruiting and everything I do around my events because people are highly motivated when they see you doing really fun things. So I actually, on my first summit trip to Vegas and even my first cruise, this is going to be my second cruise with Beachbody, guess what it went on? It went on my credit card, and it took me a little while to pay off, I'm not going to lie, but it definitely helps you build up your business. And I know I'm always telling you guys invest, invest, invest. I probably invest too much, but just kind of start to think like a business owner in terms of what these events can do for you. So a couple points, and if you guys have questions, you can totally ask, but I wrote some notes here just so I can cover a lot of the questions we've had. You do get to bring a guest, and it's included, so you're not paying anything extra. You do have the opportunity to bring additional guests, but there's a whole different area of additional fees and things like that. It's pretty much just like you're paying for those people. So you have one guest for free that is included. And this year, because the company is growing so fast, they're doing two separate trips. So the first one is April 23rd, and this is 2017, April 23rd to April 27th. So both trips are 4 nights, 5 days. And then the second trip is going to be 4/27 to May 1st. So April 27th to May 1st. And so if you guys are asking me which one I'm going to do, I actually don't know yet because I originally was going to take my parents and I was going to build my sister's account to earn one for her, but I decided I'm not going to do that. So it's just going to be Sean and I, or my guest and I, whoever ends up coming. So I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet. But the registration for me is on the 11th. And then the general registration for all of you guys, I'll let you know which one I pick if you want to come on the trip with me. You don't have to. Is Tuesday, January 19th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's 12 noon for your East Coasters. So if you register before that time, you will actually get kicked off the trip. So do not register early. Because if you log on a few hours early, you're going to be like, oh, it's open and it's ready. Don't do that because that window of time is supposed to be for premier coaches. And like the system doesn't know who you are. So please don't register early. They possibly can kick you back out and then you have to get back in line. So, sorry, let me turn my phone off here. Okay, so that is registration. And so.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when we go to sign up, do we have to be at the computer at 12 like someone would be buying Adele tickets? Is it like?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. That was going to be my next thing. So I've had some people in the past who delegated their husband or wife to sign them up, and they weren't thinking like, I have to be there at 12 noon or whatever, 9 a.m., whatever time zone you're going by. And they were like 8 minutes late and they didn't get to go. And I'm talking like top coaches. And so they don't make any exceptions. So delegate someone who is really going to be there if you can't be there. If you have a success partner or coach in this team that can help you. But of course they have to register themselves first. But just being honest with you guys, it does sell out fast. There is a wait list. And there are different qualifications this year. So I'll go into some of the qualifications next. So what used to happen is people would put their $300 deposit down for this cruise, and then they weren't active in the business. And because they registered, if they're not hitting Success Club, they were just paying the $1,200 to go on the Success Club trip. And that's insane to me. That's not fair because this is a Success Club trip. no one that is not hitting Success Club should not be able to go in my eyes. So what they changed, and they changed it even more this year, is it's very doable, guys. So let's say I register, paid my $300 deposit. From January 1st to March 31st, I have to have 10 Success Club points. So if you don't hit Success Club, that does not mean they kick you off. So just to put that out there, I'm going to explain more about the Success Club stuff and how all the earning works. But just because you don't hit Success Club doesn't mean you get kicked off. You will get, that's not a very nice term, but they will remove you from the registration if you do not have 10 Success Club points by March 31st. You need to have 15 Success Club points by June 30th. It's 6 months, very doable. And you need to have 20 Success Club points by September 30th. That's just to make sure they don't drop you from registration. Okay, that's not to earn the trip. And how the wait list works is, let's say someone doesn't earn those Success Club points, that person would be taken off, and that's how the wait list people get added on, or if people cancel. Okay? So the difference between the two deposits are the $300 deposit is going to be for, I didn't write down the style of the room number, but let's say standard room. The $600 deposit would be if you want the deluxe room. And so the only room that you can earn in its entirety is the standard room, the $1,200 room, the $300 deposit. Even if I hit Success Club 100 million, I cannot earn the full $2,400 room. So I want to be clear about that. You only can earn a max of $1,200 for the standard room. If you do the $600 deposit for the deluxe room, you would be paying the difference out of your pocket for the deluxe room. So how it works is pretty much everything is quarterly. So January to March is 1 quarter, so on and so forth. And every single Success Club point that you earn, 1 point equals $5, $10. Once you get to Success Club, it is then doubled. And especially for the month of January, they actually double your dollars. So only for the month of January will they actually give you double money. So let's say I earn 100 trip dollars. I'm actually, for the month of January, they'll give me 200 because it's doubled. So in order for you to pretty much cover your entire trip, unless you hit it out of the park in January, let's just count the double dollars as they didn't exist, you need to be hitting Success Club 10 every month to be covering your $1,200. What's cool about January is if I rock it this month, I can earn a whole bunch of money this month. And then let's say I only hit like Success Club 6 or 7, a couple other months, January will make up the difference for you. So if I only hit Success Club 5, January, February, March, I will be earning $200 because of the Success Club multiplier, okay? Typically it would be $50 a month. I would earn $50 in January, February, March, but they double my January. So I would be paying $100 come March. That's how it works. So $300 a quarter is due. All of the trip dollars you earn based on your Success Club go towards this $300 that Beachbody is expecting to bill you. So if you hit Success Club and cover up $300 worth for January through March, they're not going to bill you anything, okay? Same thing goes for the rest of the months. It is billed quarterly though. There are different style rooms. So if you do have kids and you want different types of rooms, that is available in the FAQ, because when you go to register, you actually have to select the room style that you want. You cannot downgrade your room, just so you know, but you can upgrade if they are available and you want to pay the difference down the road. There's like an upgrade form that you can fill out. Cancellations, let's talk about that. And if you guys have questions, you can write them in there. I'll get to them in 1 second. If you do need to cancel for any reason, there are dates. So if I didn't write all this down because you guys can read it in the FAQ, which is 3928. You can go into the FAQs and type that in. So for whatever reason something happens, up to a certain date, you can get just about all of your deposit back. But if you're canceling right up towards the trip, you won't get any of your deposit back. Okay, I already said that. And let me read some of these questions. Yes, good call, Katie. So if you earn more, it will roll over. So let's say I earn more than $300 January, February, March. I won't get billed anything. Let's say I had 450 trip dollars and it was only January, February, March. That's going to roll over into the next quarter, but the max is 1,200. So nope, it doesn't matter who your guest is. So you could bring a coach and they do not need to be in Success Club. Awesome question. Oh, sorry, Emily, I didn't see your thing earlier. Laura Home hit business starter this week. Congrats, Laura. Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, what else did I have? Okay, that is honestly like the gist of Beachbody Success Club trips. Little rules change every year. So there's 2 trips this year. Pretty much you want to go all out in January because you're going to get double dollars. And it pretty much helps you make sure that if you slip up a little bit on the other months, like the harder months, that you're going to be covered. And so if you hit your Success Club and rock this first quarter, you won't be billed anything. But other than that, the FAQ again, I know that there were a couple FAQs, Janelle. I put FAQ 3928, and within the FAQ, there's like, separate FAQs. So I don't know if that's the exact one for Success Club, but does that make sense, guys? Who is registering? Me. We're going to freaking Dominican Republic. Okay. I don't really have a million things to go over with you guys today other than 2 other things. So I have been reading this book, and it is the 10 times rule. It's awesome. I've been really trying to find a book after reading so much awesome personal development that was going to motivate me. And this has done it. I read 7 chapters on the plane yesterday, and I'm so excited that I actually am designing a 10-day, 10 times the results and success academy for you guys. So I am going to be spending Sean's next week in chemo, pretty much just headphones on, game time. And I really want to teach you guys pretty much ramping up the amount of effort that we're putting in right now. And it's not that it's bad. It's just that sometimes we think that success will come because we're working hard. And so then when something difficult comes along or a challenge comes along, we're really disappointed. And so I've been there, and I know that it usually honestly takes 10 times more effort, 10 times more action, and correct action, not just I'm busy all the time. You have to make sure you're focusing on the right things to get to where you want to go. And that's why a lot of people quit at anything in life, is because they're putting in maybe 3 times the work or 5 times the effort, and they feel like they should be at where they're wanting to go, but it's really 10 times the effort. So this is all about thinking big and thinking outside of, the norm, thinking outside of the ordinary work. So I just want to do Monday through Friday, 10 days. So I'm really excited. You guys know me, I don't sugarcoat anything. And so I'm just going to be real with you guys. A lot of you say, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. So I don't want you guys to ever feel overwhelmed, but I want you to actually start to understand how to react to life in this business when you start to feel that. There's got to be this little trigger switch that goes off when you can recognize, like, holy crap, I'm going into freak out mode. I need to go in the corner and I just can't handle this. I want to teach you guys what to do in those moments because I totally get it. And if you can remind yourself that you can only do so much and continue at least at the 10 times rule during those hard moments, you'll always see success. That's how Dream Corp has done so well, is because when the challenge is there, I don't back off. I just take a breath and I have been able to laser focus what I'm doing, even though I feel like the world behind me is crashing. So I feel like if you guys can all master that, you will be successful in this business. Yes, Stacy said she had one of those moments an hour ago. I want you to know that every single person on the screen has those moments. The successful people are the ones that have gone through the personal development and that have learned how to trigger it. It's kind of like the mom, right? A mom has to wake up, take care of the family, dads too, no offense, but moms are typically the ones that are always doing everything. But and so like moms are, especially in this business, they're like, I have to do my business. I have 3 kids and then I have to help my husband do this and I'm doing everything. And it's like the moms and are the most successful coaches in this business because they've learned that trigger point of how to channel the craziness. And so I always look up to them so much, and I always ask them, like, what is your time management like? And they're like, well, you just have to know what your trigger point is of before you explode. So if you guys want to be in this training with me, let me tell you what date I'm going to start it. I don't even really want to call it a training. I don't know. I should come up with a different word other than training, but it's going to be a group, obviously. When do we have February? I swore I wrote it in my calendar. Okay, February 8th is the Monday, and that's when we're going to start. So order this book and get it if you guys want to rock it with me. If you guys have a book that you have been trying to read for the last month, crank it out. Just get it all done, because I almost wish that I came across this for January, because that would have been a lot better, but it's all right. We're going to rock January on our momentum and our excitement anyway, and then we can crush the rest of the year using this. So I made a banner. I'm going to make a group, and you guys will be able to add yourself to it. All right, the next topic I wanted to share with you guys is called a workshop. Brianna, you're so brilliant. I'm going to write that down. See, you guys are like professionals already. Well, I guess I did call it a Success Academy. Success Academy workshop. Okay. The next thing is, what am I inviting to? And we have so many new coaches. Sorry, hold on. My throat is still driving me crazy. We have so many new coaches that are just like, all right, I want to do this, let's go. And they don't really know what to say yet. I've been there. A lot of us learn along the way. We trip over our words, we fall on our face, and we're like, I just sounded like the biggest idiot ever. So I just want to help you guys kind of see the big picture of what you're inviting to. As a newer coach, let's say your first, 1 to 3 months, typically you're inviting to a fitness challenge. But I don't want you guys to think of this as I'm just inviting someone to buy a challenge pack and be in my group and work out with me. I want you to think of this as I'm inviting someone into our Dream Corp team culture. I'm inviting someone into my community of wellness and happiness and self-love, positivity, whatever your mission is. So it makes it way less salesy when you're sharing your excitement around your fitness challenge or your positivity challenge, rather than just, I need to sell a challenge pack with Shakeology. How much is it? Like, sell the lifestyle to people. And my best advice in terms of inviting to challenge groups, I know this is all in the training, but is to set them based on your calendar. So everyone should have their own individual calendar of what's going on in their life. For example, for me, the first 2 weeks of my month are really important for me to rock my fitness. Because hopefully by the end of the month, people have been watching me and following me, and then they're ready for the next month to begin or the next challenge. That's personally how I do it. Some people, they like to do all their Team Beachbody coaching recruiting in the first 2 weeks. But I have a personal agenda that I am balls to the walls with my fitness challenge, and I'm sharing that lifestyle with people. If you guys don't know, your challenge groups should be your breeding ground. So when you invite someone to your fitness challenge, you then are letting them into your life as a Beachbody coach. That is the breeding ground for coaches and sharing how this can also change their life. So I know a lot of people kind of struggle with the invite, but don't make it just about your business. Don't make it just about the 21-day fixed containers. Think bigger, because in the beginning, for the first year of my career, it was really about Success Club. I rocked Success Club, but I couldn't recruit for the life of me because no one planted a seed in my head that challenge groups are where I'm going to help people change their life through this business, because they're going to see what I'm doing, and it's beyond the Shakeology and the fitness programs. So I wanted to plant that seed early for you guys. The second thing that you're inviting to, and this takes some time, is the coaching opportunity, like I said. So you have two things on your mind. Can I fit this person into a fitness category, or can I fit them into a coach category? Or maybe they're kind of a mixture of both. So when I'm talking to people, I try to figure out how Beachbody can be the solution, and I kind of put them into a category that way. Your target market, your niche may be all the same. But for me, I try to do 50% and 50%. I want to have badass coaches on my team who want to grow this business because that's where success comes from. That's honestly where the big majority of life changing happens. And then I also make sure that I'm still helping people with their health and fitness. So when you're inviting people to the coach opportunity as a new coach, please don't word vomit on them. And I know that you still will. It's actually sometimes good to feel it out how you talk about coaching, but we do have amazing resources for you guys to use. I'm going to be getting back into doing the What is Coaching webinars for you guys, and I'm going to give you guys dates on the ones that I am going to be hosting. But I really try to make you guys feel comfortable in talking about what is coaching. I was actually talking with a coach on our team today, and she said, I'm really not sure how to talk about what we do as coaches. And this is the part I really wanted to hit home with you guys is whatever attracted you to coaching is what a coach does. Because the reason I coach probably isn't the same reason that you coach. So if you absolutely, for example, were blown away by your coach's transformation and you were like, I want a before and after picture, maybe you dive in with sharing with someone, you know what, I signed up to be a coach and what I do as a coach is I wanted the before and after picture. I was sick and tired of feeling icky and I wanted the energy and that whole thing. Or like for me personally, I saw my coach living a life of freedom and I was like, that's what I want. I don't want to work for someone else. I want to travel, all the million things I've already told you guys about my story. And so what coaching means to you and what you're inviting to is going to be very different. It's kind of not a blanket statement. So I hope that helps you guys. I know it is addicting, Brianna. Once you start to get the groove of what you're inviting to, you're like, oh, now I know vital behavior number 1, inviting, and you don't hide from it. So work with your upline on what your mission is. Work with your upline on how you can share your story to inspire others. Because if you just think of it in terms of inviting to a challenge group and inviting people to a webinar, I agree, it's not that fun. But when you can find your groove and how it can work for other people's lives, I think it's a lot less painless. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. Whoa. Do you guys have any questions for me, whether it's about how many amazing Dream Corp coaches we're going to have on our Nest Success Club trip, or inviting, or anything like that? Someone has to have questions. 43 people and no questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you deal with negative Nancy's in your challenge groups that are just constantly like everything they say is negative and it's not uplifting and they're kind of like bringing your group down? What do you think is the best way to approach that?
Really good question. So I know not everyone has the same type of personality that I have, but I honestly would start everything with, I have to remember that I don't know how this person feels. They've never heard about positivity before, obviously. They're very new to this community. So I kind of take a step back and then I'll message them and say, hey, Lindsay, I'm really excited to have you in our challenge group, but there's one thing that I really strive for in my groups, and it's that we always give out positive vibes. And then I'll address whatever it is that they're talking about. If they're mad about, I don't know, they don't know what to eat every day and they think that this isn't working, I'll try to help them with the solution. And then I just say, I know that maybe you're wanting to vent in this group, but I really don't want that in the group because it's not really motivating for people. My goal of my challenge group is to have excited people that are showing up in here every day to see motivation. So I would just ask them before, removing them and deleting them and all that. If it's a really bad comment, just delete it. Don't tell them you deleted it. Just go to them and ask them if maybe they can work on some of their positivity. And honestly, sometimes that's people's cry for, I need a friend. So you could probably change their life and their perspective, and they might not even know that they're complaining out loud because it's what they're used to. That used to be me. Sean had to be like, yo, knock it off. You're driving me crazy. So I didn't even realize I was doing it for a long time. But if they just kind of don't get it, then you might end up having to remove them eventually. But
okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
How about doing your very first challenge group ever, like one that you hosted on your own?
What was the beginning of the question? I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
How did you go about creating your like very own first challenge group when you first joined Beachbody and not like following your coach above you?
Sure. So I was in one of my coach's challenge groups at first. And then again, like I didn't have training say, make your own challenge group. And I was kind of just, I don't know, taking initiative on my own. So then I realized like, oh, why don't I make my own? Because I started to bring people in. So the only thing I knew was to use the challenge group guides in the back end of the office. And then I did, I'm not even kidding, 16 challenge groups that were 10 weeks long for like the longest time of people just pretty much falling off by the end of like 5-6 weeks. And I would painfully use these challenge group guides. So what I did then is not what I recommend now, but to answer your question, I used the challenge group guides and I would pair up with someone. So for example, like let's say you signed up with someone and you're in the jumpstart training and you guys are kind of vibing the same and you really want to hold each other accountable. You guys could pair up together and then delegate. Maybe you do the first week, he or she does the second week, and just do a 30-day group. And I suggest making like a theme or something like that. So, you know, like a New Year's resolutions or like a meal planning, whatever you love most, whatever your strength is for your group. Picking a date a few weeks out. And then the most important thing that you do, if you use the challenge group guide, totally fine. Just don't copy and paste. Make sure you make your own. Is make sure you basically think of sharing your challenge group as if you're posting on your own social media page. Because this is where people are going to see what coaches do and how we're not just like, did my workout, drank my shake, here's my 2 reds and my 2 purples today. Like really make that challenge group your baby and everything that you have, especially as a new coach. So if I had to give any advice of what not to do, don't do 10-week groups as long as the program is. Maybe start off with a 30-day group and pair up with someone.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Colleen, I have a question.
Yes.
So I just, as far as like the challenge groups and then there's the wellness groups. So the people like, I know Rising Lotus and Wellness Warriors, like are the people that are doing that, are they doing separate challenge groups in addition to the like community groups?
No.
So
not that I know of. I mean, again, there's really like not any right or wrong way. I know top coaches that do, like Melanie Mitro, like clockwork, does a new group every single 30 days. For me, I loved the idea of the ongoing community because how many coaches have joined my team that were with me 2 years ago? So like for me, that's what works for me. I don't know, Candace, do you guys just keep it open and do that or?
I don't do additional challenge groups.
Okay.
I do me personally, just wellness community, but a lot of my coaches do challenge groups together. So
Cool.
well, thanks.
I think it just gives people it gives you a chance to show them that like, hey, I'm still here 30 days later. They're still watching people succeed. And, you know, you never know how you can inspire someone even like a year later or something like that. So,
well, so as far as the wellness group too, I found that I was having like challengers go from one group to the next, to the next, to the next, and they just weren't ready to coach, but they wanted to be in every single one of my groups. And then I would lose some of them by doing new groups. So I just felt like for me, the wellness group was the best. And so far it has been for our community and everyone like not ready to be a coach yet. They're just, you know, there. And then sometimes like 6 months later, they'll be like, oh, now I want to coach. So
yeah. And the key to challenge groups is honestly finding people that are very fitness motivated, like fitness, health, transformation motivated. If they're not really active on Facebook too, that definitely can kill a challenge group. So I really, when I'm recruiting, I'm finding people who are active on social media already because I know that they're going to be awesome coaches. There were some questions up here. Do you have to hit Success Club 5 or more to reach the vacation access? No, Jennifer, you don't. Well, you might want to watch the beginning a little bit, but you do, like if you miss Success Club 5 in January, you're okay, but you do need to have 10 Success Club points by March 31st. You have to have 15 Success Club points by June 30th and 20 Success Club points by September 30th. So there are some qualifications, but if you miss it 1 month here and there, you're not knocked out. But those are the requirements. Brianna asks, and I'm reading this for the people watching the recording, I have some girls on my team who are in my challenge groups, but they are not participating. I reach out to them and they say they are doing it. Do you go back and invite them all to the next challenge group? I think that kind of goes back to if you're doing multiple challenge groups, I always, like, if you're constantly reaching out to people and showing that you're interested in them and that you don't just let them fall off, that goes a long way. That has a lot to do with their reoccurring Shakeology orders, their trust in you. And a lot of people over the years have thanked me for never giving up on them. And to be honest, all I do is invite them to the next thing I have, and that to them is everything. So I definitely think so. Yeah, I think in our Wellness Warriors group, we have over 100 now. And so that's kind of touching back on the fortune is in the follow-up. You really want to make sure that you're following up with your customers, even if they've fallen off, to check in with them every now and then. Challenge groups can be painful. Jen, I know that if you don't have people in there that are dedicated, that's why bringing in fresh blood and excited people and having excited coaches is really important too. Because I know that like challengers fall off a lot more than coaches do. And that's what I tell my people when they're like, I don't know if I want to coach. I'm like, look, I promise you that if you're a coach, you're going to be a lot more accountable to your goals because you feel like you can't let the community down. The other coaches are doing it. And Brianna just talked about this the other day too. So I've had many challenge groups, and some of them aren't that great. It's just really all about the people that you have in there. So don't give up. How do you balance between groups versus like page versus personal page? I do oftentimes just take my post on my like page or my personal page, like whatever my fitness post is for the day. I'll take some parts out and I'll post it in my challenge group. I'll add something that's maybe more specific to the group. You can repeat some information on your like page and your personal page. I really think that on my like page, I can be a little bit more direct in terms of like what I'm trying to accomplish. So I feel like representing myself as a brand and as a business is a lot different than me just posting pictures of my dog every day on my personal page, if that kind of makes sense. So I'm really talking about my mission and my values and my story and why I'm coaching and what I learned today. And like, I'm really 100% branding on my like page. On my personal page, again, I'm at 2.5 years. It's very different. You just have to share. Oh my God, there's Ant on my computer. You have to share on your personal page a lot about you to the audience that you have, because people are expecting to hear everything about Jennifer on your personal page, but on your business page, you're more of a brand. So I don't know if that makes sense to you guys when I say that out loud. It does to me when I'm saying it. But you can totally repeat some stuff. But again, for like pages are truly only beneficial if you guys are at like 500 to 1,000 likes, and it takes time and a little investment of money to get up there. But if you don't want to use the like page yet, maximize your personal page. That's usually what I tell people for sure. Whoa, sorry, a bunch of people just commented. No, that's a good question. So please clarify the wellness page versus the challenge page. So we just, we as in Jenna Talmaj, she was one of the coaches who came up with Wellness Warriors. That was totally her idea. And I love what she was doing in there. So I piggybacked off with her. And then we even have some other Dream Corp coaches in there too. So it's just an ongoing group. So she made Wellness Warriors, and it's a community. It's still a challenge group. This is like, when I say the word community, that's what I want you guys to get used to is you're not just creating a group. You're not just creating a fitness challenge. These are your people. This is my community. So when I'm inviting people to something, I'm bringing them into my life and my community. So Jenna decided to call that the Wellness Warriors. Candace and I know other coaches have the Rising Lotus. So that's their wellness community, but it is the same thing. It's the group, but it's just, we kind of changed it up rather than calling it a challenge group. Just sounds a little bit more inviting. And then in terms of your challenge groups, we kind of talked about this a little bit last week. People don't have to buy anything to be in my group. That's my personal rule. And I hope it would be the same for you too, because There are some times that I'll reach out to people and I just feel like they need a friend, they need a hug, and they think I'm inspiring, but they could never do what I do. And I'm like, you just need to come see the people that are in my life and in my community, because they're awesome, and I think it's really going to change your perspective. And so they don't buy anything from me, but that's my invite. I'm planting a seed with them to help them. So maybe down the road they'll see what's going on and they might want to challenge back. But if not, they're always welcome. Hopefully that helps.
I literally just switched my challenge group because I was running like constant, every first Monday of the month, I was running a challenge group. And like Candace said, you're like losing humans from like group to group. And I found that with the challenge group, it was literally just me talking. And as soon as I turned it into a wellness community, it was like, I'm not even running the group anymore. And that's how it should be. Like everybody in the group is like feeling the fire for others now and supporting each other and motivating each other. It's like, these, like Colleen said, like this is like your breeding ground for coaches, because essentially you don't even want to be, not that you don't want to be running the group, but I don't even have to be running the group because everybody else is posting up. And it feels more of like like a comfort zone, that people are in a comfortable, safe environment with a wellness group versus like the challenge group. And it's nice because it's just ongoing, and you're not losing people in between groups. So like, I'm not kidding you guys. Like I literally just made the switch about last month. In the last 2 weeks, not even 2 days, I've had the entire page blow up, 15, 20 people like posting up. So it's a total shift when people, feel that community and the sense of support, because sometimes in the challenge group, it's tough when people do, fall off and you're the only one, talking, like you hear crickets, and that really doesn't fuel anybody's fire. And so I found when you changed it to the wellness community, it was just comfortable for people. It was comfortable. And that is a big deal, especially because this is brand new for people. This is a big deal that people are stepping out of their comfort zone, and they're trying a fitness program in Shakeology, and this is new to them. And so having those like-minded humans, exactly, Jen just said it, support rather than preaching. And that's, what people need when they're starting something new. So I found like Jenna and Candace killing it with the wellness group. And I was like, you know what, I'm totally going to transition. And it's unbelievable. I have like a ton of people in there right now that I'm like planting serious seeds. And like Colleen said, a lot of people in the group are on Shakeology and like the 21-day fix and a Beachbody program. But I also am reaching out to people that I know have been working on like their fitness and nutrition game. And like Colleen said, sometimes, people just need a friend and they need somebody to talk to and they need that support. And so I reach out, I invite them, and it's totally like, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just like, hey, like, how was your New Year's? I'm running a motivational online support group. Like it's killer for recipes, accountability, support. I would love to add you. It's free. Totally let me know if you want in. So you're offering up something else to somebody, and I'm not trying to sell you anything. I want to help you, So I think when you throw that invite out there and then they see the community and the wellness group, it's just like a total game changer. So
when you kind of shift your mindset into that, let me just be a light in someone's life, like Janelle was saying, like they just need a friend. That kind of goes hand in hand with how I shared some of my posts from 2 years ago where no one gave a hoot. And then all of a sudden, because I was just making friends and connecting and making people feel that I was interested in them because I genuinely was, those people are now liking all my stuff and they've been watching me and now they're reaching out. And I want you guys to have that mentality of the seeds you plant now and how special you make someone feel is going to make all the difference in the world. So I think a lot of people are like thinking that it's just going to happen overnight, and that takes a long time to build up your brand. So that's kind of why I talk about consistency so much. Any other questions for tonight? These are really good questions. I think I answered them all. All right. If you guys think of anything, wow, we had 43 people on here tonight. Sweet. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming tonight. I hope that this was helpful for you guys to understand the trip. And Again, remember that your registration is going to be on January 19th at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is 12 noon Eastern. And if you have more questions, you guys can post about it in the team page. But congratulations again to everyone on all the awesomeness. I could give you the biggest hug ever right now. And have a good night, guys. See you later.